What's up, YouTube? Bubbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope your Wednesday, your middle of the week, has passed on and has been a good week for everyone. We are getting closer to the weekend. I'm excited. Have the CSA Chantilly show coming up, but I wanted to share some photos with you guys and kind of just run through some thoughts and maybe comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Are you seeing similar activities in your area? And am I on the right thinking here, so to speak, of like we kind of knew that this would wind up happening. But it, like, what's going on? And what I'm talking about is obviously retail wax. You can see here on this first picture, I have some blasters here. You can see how much is stocked on the shelf. And I was surprised yesterday. I ran into my Walmart here in town, and I actually ran in there to check on to see if they had some sweet tea that me and the missus enjoys, and it's been sold out for a while, so I hopped in there to check and see if they had any of that. And while I was in there, you know, if you're a card person, you always check the card area. And I kind of discussed this. If you follow on the Card Chatter podcast, I discussed and, you know, talked about it. But here's some pictures, since over there we don't share, you know, like the photos or videos or whatever footage. But I have some pictures to share with y'all because I was very surprised at the restock that had taken place. And at first I got really excited. You know, there was Optic basketball, there was Prism basketball, there was Topps Chrome baseball. You see here these Metal Universe Champions blasters. And I was like, man, there's a lot of cool stuff on the shelf. And then I had the lady ring some of the stuff up because I knew the prices were incorrect on the shelf. They hadn't updated the little pricing stickers. And I wasn't quite sure what new retail prices were on everything, so I wanted her to just check and confirm. After getting the prices, I looked back on it, and, you know, if this was 3 years ago, I'd have bought this stuff. If the pricing was 3 years ago, I would have bought it. If, you know, my feeling about like basketball in general, I would have bought it. But when I looked at it, I was like, the prices changed so much. And you know, if you, and this isn't to like talk bad about anybody new or that it just came back to the hobby or whatever, but when I say the prices changed so much, you might look at it and think, well, it didn't go up that much. And many folks might be used to buying from flippers, retail flippers, or, you know, aftermarket on eBay, or from Blowout or DA or wherever you could get wax from, because for so long there was nothing on the shelf. And so many people came in and were bitten by the hype bug, and they wanted to rip wax. And at the time, you know, base rookies they had value to them. Hell, second year base cards had value to them for a while. And you could bust open a blaster or a Cellos or mega boxes or whatever and still recover what you spent, right? It wasn't that difficult. But when I say it's went up, you know, you might look at a blaster and say, $35 isn't too bad. But in perspective, that's 2 times as much almost. It's nearly 2 times of what it was before. And so, as someone that genuinely likes to buy the product, to come home and open it, it's hard knowing that my dollar is now really only worth about 60 cents, so to speak, rather than the full dollar like it used to be. I can, for two blasters, it's going to cost me $70 now, whereas before it would have only been 40. And that sucks. Like, that really sucks because, whereas before, if I was at $40, I could then toss over, and buy two cello packs even at $12 a piece, and that put me at, $64. Now, just buying two blasters would cost me more than that. So I stood there yesterday, and I'm going to go through and share. Like, I sent them to the missus and showed her everything that was on the shelf, and I contemplated really hard of buying any of it. But the prices just, I'm not one that bought on the aftermarket or the third party. I was one that, said that flipping wax was causing an issue in the hobby. It was contributing to the uptick in hobby prices that we've seen. I mean, look at what hobby boxes are going for now. $1,500. Used to never be even close to that. I said, when these shops are seeing people paying $80, $100 for a blaster, it was only going to be a matter of a time before we were paying with it with our wallet for hobby. And people blame folks for spending that price. And you can't just blame the flipper, because they wouldn't have been flipping it if people weren't paying. So there was multiple parties at fault. But I had refused to pay. I also didn't flip the wax. If I bought wax and I didn't like the product, I remember I bought some Illusions basketball. We opened, me and the missus, I think, opened, it was either a blaster or a fat pack or something. I can't remember what it was. And I just told her I didn't like it. I didn't like the product. I sold them to somebody in the Facebook group at at retail cost. I didn't flip the wax. I just sold it. But anyway, I'm going to go through and share what we had. So we had all of this Metal Universe Champions. This must have been incorrectly priced, because I heard that these are only supposed to be $30, and they were ringing up for $49.88. So that was a definite no on my behalf. Here was Topps Chrome Megas. I love the Megas. I love the X-Fractors. I would have loved to buy some of these and pick them up. But at $65 a mega box, I am going to say no thank you. And that was hard to do, because I've told you guys I really love the X-Fractors. And I'm always excited to find megas. But 65, I just don't see the value in the box. Wander here, he's likely the best rookie hit in the product. And I've seen some on eBay for $40 on an X-Fractor. So rather than taking a risk and hitting 10 of them and maybe not getting him for $65 plus tax, I can happily pop on eBay and, just buy some singles. So there is the Chrome Megas. Had a bunch of these. If you're not familiar, these used to be in boxes. They were hanger boxes. Now they are hanger packs, as you see here. They have the orange ices. They also should have the variations, chances for those in here. These were $22 a pack. Hanger boxes used to be $17.88, so $18. So these also went up. I thought about some of these, but I don't like the fat pack. I don't like this packaging. I'm sure the cards are probably not in the best of shape. And yeah, again, at $22, that's more than a blaster. You're paying over $1 per card, and you have to understand that majority of all of the cards in there aren't even going to be, giving you 10 cents back on value. So very difficult on that product as well. Here is a full, I pulled this out to see how many was in here, but this was the full display of cellos. These are now $16. They used to be $12. But there was a whole display of cello packs for Prism Basketball. There was only 3 megas. These were $55. Megas are a pretty good product. You do get these exclusive pink ices. These aren't too terrible. I think they used to be 45, I believe, and now they're 55. So for that product, you also hear 54 cards, so your price per card, is almost right at $1 on these. So, but they had three of these, and then a ton of optic blasters here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I think there was another row back here. But anyway, these were $35, so up from the old price of $20 on blasters. Optic blasters are pretty nice. You do get chance at purples, purple autos. You also have a chance at the checkerboards. Optic's a great product, but again, another thing that really shied me away is I'm not really into the ultra modern basketball game anymore. So I didn't have a connection, or there wasn't like a player I was going to be opening and looking for. To be fully transparent, I probably would have been only hunting to hit something so I could try to sell it. And, as fun as that is, that goes right back into the I might as well go and buy a scratch-off ticket or a Powerball ticket, because I would really just be paying for the experience to open the product and then the wish and a hope to hit something to sell, because there was not going to be anything in there that I was really going to be looking to hold on to. So that was another reason why, for the basketball side mainly, I decided to just not spend my money on it. Alright, so that's all of the product. I went back today. I had to go meet somebody to drop their cards off to them this evening. And I was in the area over on that side of town where the Walmart is. And so I was like, let me go in. It's been about 26 and a half hours now. It was 4 o'clock yesterday. It was almost 6:30 today when I went in there. Let me see how much of this stuff has been bought. Was I wrong? Was people paying the marked up price? Were they still, buying up the prism, the optics, all of that stuff? Well, I'll blow it up here a little bit and we'll scroll around. So here's the Chrome Megas. They're still all there. Right here was the Prism Megas. Those 3 Prism Megas did get purchased. Here you can see the full display of Prism Cellos. It's still a full display of Prism Cellos. You come down here. There's the hanger packs. It looks like the person came back and put the price tags today or yesterday. I don't know which. But they took the display box, and I'm thinking some of the packs in there were cellos. So they must have put those up here and then just set the regular packs down here. I don't know what's going on, why these are just sitting on the shelf now. But anyway, maybe 3 optic blasters were bought, but you can see there's still plenty of optic blasters there. And then Metal Universe Champions was still stocked. So, 26 plus hours and everything was still on the shelf. What that tells me is there's no opportunity to flip the wax right now. And that was a big cause of why shelves were being cleared out, is the simple ease of making money on flipping wax. This could run into a problem because we know printing increased due to the demand, or the alleged demand, because the shelves weren't staying stocked. And so they ramped up production of the cards, but now people aren't buying them because they also noticed that the flippers were getting a marked up value on the secondary market. So they wanted a piece of that pie as well, so they jacked the prices up. What this has now done is caused 2 issues. You have higher prices and more product, which then devalues the cards themselves, which then makes it even less appealing to purchase the product. I think we're going to start seeing more and more and more stuff just sit. I don't know if they'll ever adjust the prices back to a lower price like it used to be. The only thing I can hope is maybe we start seeing stuff put on clearance again that gets us closer to the old price. But that will be a to be determined situation. But definitely something to monitor. something I just wanted to share with folks. Give me your thoughts. What are your stores looking like? I've seen some other people post. I seen, what's his name, Collectible Guru. Somebody shared a post of his that showed, I guess people are using bots buying product online, and then because they can't flip it, they're taking it and returning it to stores. That's becoming a new thing. I guess there was some Target that had, I don't even know how many blasters of select football, and I guess there was some optic or something mixed in it too. That an employee had to restock on the shelf because somebody bought it all up online and they couldn't flip it for decent margins, so they're returning it. So, people argued and said that retail flipping wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't hurting the hobby. They were blaming the breakers for the price increases and the manufacturers. Panini sucks, Top sucks. They're raising the prices. Nobody seen how it all works hand in hand. Most of your LCS shops and stuff, they're basing prices off of what Blowout price at, what DA price at, and what Steel City price at. Those guys are going to put pre-orders up at a certain amount. They're going to gauge demand at that price. If demand is high, they're going to raise the price up. They're going to get more out of the pie. If the demand is low, then they might adjust it down a little bit. But either way it goes, they're going to find out where people are buying the product at. Your LCSs are gauging their prices to be competitive with those guys, because even if they're getting it direct from Tops or whoever, or distributors, they're not going to, be able to be way off competitively with, shops or places like Blowout, because they have obviously much larger inventory. So that's how the whole ecosystem there works. And then when you compare retail to hobby, if a blaster is being paid, $80, $100 for a blaster, well, you're not going to be able to get a hobby box like you used to for $89. Nobody in their right mind is going to sell hobby boxes for less than a blaster box. That's just not going to work. People say, well, the hobby product went up, so the retail went up. No, that's not the case. Retail was too easily accessible. It was easy to run in a store, buy 5 blasters, spend $100, and sell them for 30 each or 40 each and make your money. There was no risk there. You go in, you buy blasters, you put them on eBay, boom, you sold them, you made money. People were doing that over and over. People weren't going to a hobby shop or an LCS and saying, hey, give me all your hobby boxes, I'm going to flip them. They weren't doing that. They were doing it with retail. And then what you started seeing is, and I witnessed it with my own eyes, my LCS, because of the rise in hobby prices, had to start buying retail product and putting retail product out on the shelf from his distributors. You seen breakers started breaking retail product because the hobby product was so much, people weren't able to afford it. So it threw off the entire ecosystem by flipping the retail wax. Now, on the back end of it, now that you can't flip it as well because it's not as cool to flip a $35 blaster and there's so much of it printed, you're not getting 70 for it where you used to be able to get 40 from a $20 blaster. It's not as appealing because you're not doubling up. So now the stuff's going to start sitting. Then folks like myself are looking at it and are basically telling ourselves, I didn't buy it before, I'm not going to buy it now. And so I walked away from it. I let it sit there. I can easily adjust myself to just, I've talked about it. I'm cool with just buying the stuff I enjoy. And that is not in this 2021 Prism product. I really loved it when it was affordable. It was fun to sit down and chase Luka or Zion or Ja Morant or Trae Young or whoever. I have no interest in chasing, Cade Cunningham or any of those guys. I know there's tons of it out there. The base cards aren't going to pay back for the product. And so, yeah, I'm cool with leaving it. Let me know your thoughts. Are you ripping? Are you leaving it alone? Are we going to be in a very difficult adjustment period because more and more wax is going to sit? Are we going to start seeing an overabundance of unsold wax? Would you even buy it if it was on clearance? Like, knowing how much increase of production there is, would you buy this stuff? Like, say they discount those cellos from $16 to $12. Would you buy them? That's a curious thought to know people's thoughts on. Because really, like, are they even worth the $12 anymore? So, I don't know. I've been rambling for a bit now, but yeah, please comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me about your area, how your stores look, and whether or not you're buying any product. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.